Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our second game of the evening as we move into our advanced division. We are going to be having Acid Trip facing off against Speed Boost. And I'm not going to do that every time, but I'm gonna work that in as much as I can. That's going to happen.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun afternoon. And I mean, we are brought to you by ExpressVPN. So make sure that if you do want to get that speed boost, your protection is guaranteed using expressvpn.com. Get yourself a VPN and take care of your online security. We're going on an acid trip here, maybe going a little bit fast too. I heard that could be like a really bad combination of speed and acid together, but we'll see what will come out here today in our advanced division. Looking at the chat right now, they did have a vote going on for who they think is going to win the map or the match. I did not see who it was, but I'm looking forward to what's coming up here very shortly. Steidl.
I voted
we
on
had
Acid Trip. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. I voted on Acid Trip. I think that the logo alone gets my vote. The fact that, they were like, let's throw it out there with the name, but they didn't stop there. They were like, keep that snowball rolling. Take every can of paint you've got in your garage, throw it at the wall, take a photo of that, send it to me, and I'll crop it into a logo for us. And that's what they've got there.
It's a trip for sure. But yeah, looking at the rosters coming up here shortly. I mean, we're new into the new season here of GitGud, and I don't notice any names here right off the top here that I recognize, but I'm looking forward to seeing, we saw some very flexible, very fluid metas in our previous matchup in the intermediate division. We're moving up in division now. We're moving up into the Masters range, low Masters range. And so what are we going to see from these players here? Will we see more of a double bubble? Will we see more Wrecking Ball come out? I mean, we've seen a lot of Ryan Zarya today. I'm not hating it because I love Ryan Zarya personally, but I mean, we'll see what it shakes out to be. I want to see, how are they going to address, control. We saw, a one-sided control map, first map of Lijiang. And, we saw a team come out and really brawl heavy. And then, changes were made. And it was just downhill from there in the form of SMVJ. They just got smacked around a little bit. And I mean, we need to see the changes that come through. The changes to this fluid meta, the pick and counter picks, the chess match that is a control map, and then moving forward from there. That's where we're going to see the value today, Steidl. I'm excited for, getting up here in the levels and really seeing what they bring to the table.
Yeah, one of the things that I love to talk about here at Elo Hell as you go through these different divisions is that as you get higher up in the rank, the adherence to the meta becomes a lot stricter just because cooldowns are being managed much differently between the intermediate and the advanced division. So when it comes to time to seeing that Hammond on the field, it's not going to be just because he's able to stay alive. It's going to be because he's able to combine with something else on the team. And that's why I'm expecting a lot of double bubble. The Ryan Zarya sure has its place, and it's a tried and true way to go. But pace is such a big deal here in the upper echelons of the divisions, where that Winston mixed with the Diva, maybe the Echo, the Tracer, lots of different ways to kind of modify your dive nowadays.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, you could run any kind of a dive. I mean, you could run the metal dive, obviously, with the Wrecking Ball and the Winston. You could throw a standard dive in there with Diva. Diva's not in a bad place right now. There are so many ways that you can address this. I mean, the double bubble right now is kind of what I'm favoring towards the higher end, but just because of the ability of a Winston to get in, get the damage going on, get that bubble down, be able to cleave in and out, weave in and out of the bubble, and then having the projected barrier from the Zarya, not only keeping yourself safe and getting yourself escapability, but also the fact that you're getting that charge for your Zarya. So, I mean, if it comes out to this. Looking at two Ryan Zarya comps right now. Only difference is a little bit of change between the main supports. They're both running a Lucio, so we're going to see the speed the aggression being able to speed into and out of fights. CF Man on the Doomfist versus Pikanu on the Mei. A little bit of a rushdown comp coming from Acid Trip.
And CF Man is actually the only player on these two rosters that I think that I've seen. I'm pretty sure that I have seen before on this Doomfist role, as well as Tracer in previous matchups. And it's really going to come down to the Mei wall. If the Doomfist can get past that Mei wall and get into the fight and out of the fight as they please, Team Speed Boost just isn't going to have a great time. Or sorry, Acid Trip isn't going to have a great time. But the kills are just going to be back and forth, chaotic, keeping their namesake for Team Speed Boost as they push it down to a 4v3. Up at the door. Point is now unlocking, so you're going to see Acid Trip back away and relinquish some of that pressure in order to take the point first.
Yeah, I mean, Pikanu already halfway to a Blizzard, so that's some serious work being done by this Mei player. Yeah, we're looking at good walls here. We're looking at how are they going to address it and what are they going to focus out. But CF Man getting some work done on this Doomfist, starting to get the the punches working and the tech working for it as well.
And, you know, the walls may be placed well right now, but the team of Acid Trip not capitalizing on them. You saw Gremory Drago get cut off from the fight completely in that last fight. However, Acid Trip weren't able to finish down the Reinhardt. And honestly, if you're running a Reaper and a high charge Zarya and a Reinhardt, that 3v1 should be quick and easy.
Should be, and I mean, that's a great wall once again.
Oh.
And the grab coming out though.
Yeah, the big grab to follow through is pretty much going to cut off anything that Acid Trip wants to do. Speed Boost going to continue to control the conversation right now. Meteor Strike coming through from CF Man, looking to find the Mei, but has to back out of the fight immediately. And you're seeing that wall really, really quickly used just to mitigate small amounts of damage. Hyde that Olbum is going to be using this Graviton Surge, but still, CF Man not letting anybody get past that front door with the crowd control. The Shatter online for Drago. Lets it go. The Mei wall not going to find much, but the Fire Strike finding two.
Yeah, they found all the value out of that strike. I mean, he did go down, right? But still, the Shatter and the Fire Strike landing four, taking two out with the Fire Strike. And then the follow-up from Team Speed Boost was absolutely there. The Speed Boost, I'm sorry, the Sound Barrier also keeping up through the mid-fight there as well. So, I mean, they've got their work cut out for them. The Acid Trip has got to start landing some ultimates here.
Death Blossom committed. Dirtmaster and CF Man both going to fall. So that's going to be 2 members for Team Speed Boost. 4 members for Team Speed Boost out of the equation. And they may be sending Karaki back to spawn. That's about all that Team Speed Boost is going to be able to accomplish there. 94%, 95%. They're going to have to give it up. Acid Trip have the ability to hold now that they have the main position. This is when I need to see you capitalize on these Mei walls. Cut off one person and kill them.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to invest the Blizzard out, and it catches some people, but I mean, you don't catch the Doomfist, so the one-punch potential is still on the table. They didn't get any value out of that whatsoever.
Nah, I think the wall was trying to keep people in the fight, but then the Blizzard hit the wall while it was up and it was in front of everybody. But a big grab coming through from Chaotic is going to allow for Team Speed Boost to do exactly that. Speed onto the point, finding themselves in a tricky situation. CF Man gonna get taken out by the hammer, and the kills coming through for Acid Trip now as they put ultimates back online and put themselves back into much better positioning. 3 ultimates at least for the next fight.
Yeah, Scheidel, there was a great use of that wall that you were asking for earlier. Now we see that Pikanu is starting to find the range with the wall and, you know, really cordoning off the members of Team Speed Boost as they try to get out of this choke point. Nice grab to come out. Shatter comes out, lands 4 on the ground.
4 on the ground, but you've got to finish your plate. You've got to finish your kills. The Doomfist, CF Man still trying to get it done in the back line, but it's Chaotic and Gremory that are getting it done in the front. LV now with the Death Blossom online, doesn't need to use it, needs to hold it, in fact. Because at 96%, if they're able to take this point back right now, Acid Trip is still going to have a little bit online to come back into it. This Death Blossom going to be everything that Team Speed Boost is going to need to shut the door on Acid Trip, but the point still being held by Acid Trip.
Yeah, I mean, they flip the point there. Oh, they step off for just a second, and now the flip has come through. Overtime is triggered, and Karaki might be able to get back and drop a Death Blossom of their own. Let's see if they can get any work out of it. Alvi drops his first, though. Oh, my word.
And he catches Kuraki in the animation of the Death Blossom, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Saw Kuraki do the Wraith form to the point and starts his Death Blossom just a fraction of a second earlier. So the second he comes out of that Wraith form, instantly deleted.
Yeah, that was beautiful work there. LV held on to that Death Blossom for quite a long time and pressed Q just at the right moment, getting the multiple kills there, securing the point. And I mean, that's great work from both teams for the first point. If that's any kind of indication of what we're going to be seeing here today, Steidel, this is going to be a fantastically seesaw match going on as we head to Sanctuary here. And, you know, we have the opportunity here to change up the meta a little bit, change up what they're going to be bringing out onto the field. And I like the fact that we are bringing out the hamster dive, but you're still slow. You're slow. You're bringing out a Brigida and a Zenyatta.
Yeah, your backline not going to be feeling particularly confident, especially that Zenyatta. Gonna have to sit right on the hip of LV in order to really feel safe in the engagements here. But Chicago, or sorry, Grimory, getting caught out there on the ham and has to take the long way back. The Chaotic able to find the Zarya off to the side. And Olbum tried to get for a healing, but luckily 14 speed boost Grimory already picked up that health pack, so that Zarya not able to find themselves any source of reprieve. And Acid Trip in this small room versus the Hammond are not having a great game. They haven't been able to find any purchase. They've gotten a little bit of ult charge for Kuraki and Typical, but points going to go to Team Speed Boost, and they've got positioning on their side.
Yeah, I mean, Grimory Drago already has mines online. That's the work that you're seeing coming out of this Wrecking Ball right now. That small room that they just decided to stay in there way too long, absolutely decimating Acid Trip in their tracks. And I mean, looking at Transcendence coming up, you can hold yourself through a Deadeye, you can hold yourself through a Shatter with that ultimate.
And the thing about the Shatter this time around is that there's nothing really to block it unless we see Dirtmaster pull off some insane up-in-your-face apex of the Shatter shield, but realistically, not going to be on the table. So they need to be extremely careful and meticulous in how they approach this fight, and that's exactly how to do it. Siphon off the Reinhardt, get him away from the Lucio's sound barrier, and then take him down with your damage. LV now having to watch their back as the members of their team fall one by one. Acid Trip are going to have to give up the point, but not before they run the clock as far as possible. CF Man continuing to be a pest on this Tracer, finding themselves a couple of picks. Keeping hope alive for Team Speed Boost. There's the Wrecking Ball back. Pickanou gets taken down. It's just a couple of members of Acid Trip, but the Hammond and the Tracer aren't going to let them have anything. Nothing at all.
Soup for you indeed, Steidel, as they completely locked out the point there from Acid Trip. Just the stall characters alone. I mean, Pikachu had the Blizzard available and didn't drop it. They thought that, you know, the 4v2 was going to get them the point, but CF Man says, nay, I'm keeping this point. And then watching Drago come back in on the ball, it was all she wrote.
All she wrote indeed, and now Acid Trip put on a Dire Straits with a very large ult bank. Bob coming out. No, Chaotic eats the grab. Nothing online for all of them now. That's completely annulled. The Blizzard has to be forced out. The Deadeye as well on the wings as Team Speed Boost still getting the kills through. Kuraki isn't able to commit it. And now nobody's able to touch.
Man, that was strange.
Chaotic.
Chaotic is a great word as well. I mean, Chaotic dropping the self-destruct just to, you know, get the remake and ends up taking down the main tank of Acid Trip. I'm not sure where he was at or if he got booped away or got shield bashed or flailed, but man, the work that was put in there by the team of Steam Speed Boost, that was just phenomenal work coming out from them. So they take the 1-0 lead here in our first to 3. I'm saying I was totally jaw dropped like you are. You're like,
I thought for sure that Acid Trip was going to be able to take that point back there at the very end, but the second I saw that Graviton got gobbled up by Chaotic, I was like, okay, it might be over, but they've still got I got you, don't worry. They've still got the ice online. They've still got that Deadeye, but the Blizzard didn't work. It didn't get the job done, and then the McCree gets killed before the Deadeye gets to get pulled off.
Yeah, it was just oof. Is the only way I can explain what just happened to Acid Trip there. But we'll see if they can bring it back around in Rialto, which will be our next map. And I mean, looking at what I saw from Team Speed Boost, I mean, they were absolutely fantastic there on control. I'm going in and out of the matrix here. Like they need to find my tracking signal and really boost my signal up here. I don't know what's going on here. I'm feeling very woozy half the time. But looking at what Team Speed Boost did well there, they were able to speed in and speed out, right? And their mobility absolutely gave Acid Trip a trip and back to spawn many times. And we'll need to see what can they bring out here in Rialto to counter what Team Speed Boost brought.
I think that the one word that you said a lot in that last paragraph is speed. It's they were running the Reinhardt with the Lucio, but it didn't seem like they were really utilizing the Lucio for a lot of those speed boosts. They had a couple that got them onto point here and there, but the initial choke, it looked like I think they speed boost straight out of spawn. So by the time they got to the drum, they weren't able to get past the stairwell that allows the Hammond to come in. Now you're trapped in a small room with the Hammond who's just racking up ult charge. And there's no speed boost out because now you've got to stay on healing because all of these different damages are coming in from left and right from Team Speed Boost.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Team Speed Boost absolutely played that to perfection. I think that LV coming out on the Ashe also was just getting so much value. The Dynamite for the flankers. I mean, dealing with the flanking McCree all the time there was really what I thought LV brought best to that map. I think that bringing the Viper and the gun down sights was the absolute perfect pick for them. And we saw great speed boost coming out from them. We saw great initiation from them. And I mean, it was 100-0. That was pretty one-sided. So we'll see what Team Speed Boost will bring out here on the offense. Looking at Acid Trip's defense, though. Bringing a little bit different tank line here. You're going to have, maybe the pulls available from A-Cyrex on the Orisa. Olabom on the Wrecking Ball. You got two environmental specialists here that you could really take members of Team Speed Boost into the river. Typical as well. You can get a shield bash or a flail and knock them off as well. But Team Speed Boost looks like they might be running the double bubble that I've been looking forward to all day long. Here we go. This could be very dynamic indeed.
I'm not really excited right now for Acid Trip. I think that the Orisa is a really good pick here. Reinhardt, you have to hold by the corners, and getting into the courtyard section can get a little bit tricky. So the Orisa can be a good alleviation there. However, this is an aerial map. Everywhere is open to getting hit from the skies. And if you're not ready for the Echo and for the Pharah, you're just going to get farmed. So now CF Man's going to be able to have a lot of fun in the skies, but LV having no fun on the ground there. Pickanou able to get that opening pick.
Yeah, but they've already taken first quarter here. So, I mean, the real strategy of running the Orisa here kind of goes out the window. Now you decide to run over to a Zarya to give your Wrecking Ball that extra bit of help. Nice sightlines here coming from Karaki on this Widowmaker. I'm loving the sightlines here.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You need something to control CFMen's ability to just dance around on the high ground. And look at Pickanou already looking for another kill onto LV here, just dancing around in the back lines. And although Team Speed Boost is able to get some pretty good progress on the point, Acid Trip still bringing themselves a bit of pressure. It's just not enough just yet.
Right, and I mean, is it the Wrecking Ball that is the issue right now? I mean, do you have enough coming out from said character? Because, I mean, right now, CF Man is just raining in hell from above, and there's nothing to deal with him yet. I think you got to bring out a soldier here, or I'm sorry, a soldier or a diva, respectively, because I don't think the Widowmaker is getting enough work done to deal with the Far in the Sky.
I agree. I think all around, Acid Trip needs to be looking at a composition switch up fairly soon. The Orisa shield doesn't pose much of a threat when 70% of Team Speed Boost can just walk past it. That mixed in with the fact that you can't have consistent point pressure with the Hammond without exposing Olbloom to a lot of direct damage from CF Man and Grimmery Drago on that Tesla cannon. It's just, it doesn't seem like the recipe for the win to me just yet, but we'll see. We'll see what they're able to do with their ultimates.
Well, I like the fact that they've swapped over to the McCree here. Oh my word! CF man, let's go with the barrage, but Olabum counters back with the pull and pulls them into the mine. So it's a +1 right now to Team Speed Boost. We'll see what they get. They get a res up, so now they're on +2. They get around the corner of death here. I think that it's going to be all she wrote.
And you're watching the Orisa right now, Ace having to back out pretty aggressively as Oldbloom gets taken down. Speed Boost is going to have ultimates and bodies coming into this next fight.
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely pop the Primal here to deal with the damage coming in. The Supercharger's being dealt with. That's a nice Graviton Surge.
Oh, and a good Graviton Surge indeed. There might be a Nano Boost in Winston in the mix, but there is a lot of damage getting thrown in as well. They're going to have to use the Supercharger in the rally to make this happen, but they're going to walk away with an Amplification Matrix and a Deadeye. The Amplification Matrix in a similar position as the Orisa Shields for me, of where it's going to have to be placed extremely well in order to allow for not only Spyro to get benefit out of healing from behind it, but in order for Acid Trip to be in a position to get some damage boost from it.
Absolutely, and we're seeing swaps coming out wholesale from Team Speed Boost, the DPS line now going over to the Ash Echo. So you have more escapability for CF Man on this Echo, also more burst down damage coming out of this hero as well. So you're going to have to change the ice level again because now you have, you know, the escapability of flight to get away. Oh, and now you can pop the Primal here.
Yeah, the Primal, you can see him hovering over that Q button, waiting for the perfect moment to boot people into the distance behind that over the boats, but good patience, trigger discipline, if you will, not choosing to commit that ultimate just yet. There he goes up onto the high ground. There's the Winston for the disruption. Deadeye from Karaki as he gets booped into a perfect view. That's the issue. Using that Primal against the Deadeye, you give that McCree extra height, extra sightlines, and often you're the one that pays the price. Karaki rolling out and finding themselves kills that they didn't necessarily see at first, but a great opportunity created by Grimory Drago.
Yeah, and Karaki right now is a difference maker here for Acid Trip, turning this series on its head right now. LV going for another swip, going to go ahead and mirror the McCree of Karaki. So Dirtmaster bringing out the Brigida now. They're going a little bit more brawly. Chaotic has brought out the Diva as well. So let's see what kind of damage mitigation we get here from the Diva.
And I'm looking for the pulse bomb meat from the Diva, and it's not gonna come through. Pick-a-New finds 2. Team Speed Boost. Although they had a lot of momentum early on, are kind of hitting a bit of a brick wall. And they're not going to have a lot to make the Diva Bomb work. It's going to have to be a big distraction play from one of the DPS. Maybe if they get close enough, they can use the Brig to help out. And that's going to be a big one to start things off. Olbum getting a little bit greedy, going to get taken out by the flail.
Indeed, and just taking a swim there in the River of Rialto here, and you've got ultimates online for both sides. So I'm looking for duplicate. You know, take the maybe take the Tracer here and go into that rally pop from Typical to keep the team up. That's a great ultimate. What are you going to do here, CF man?
Oh, gonna get the Echo onto the Orisa, throws the shield down from behind and calls for the team to walk straight through. The distraction is there indeed, the self-destruct as well. I believe that got used by Chaotic earlier in the fight. But the Deadeye from Karaki going to take Grimory out of the fight once again. CF Man out of the Echo, but flying a little bit too close to the ground. That's going to make it easy for the McCree for Acid Trip to take them out. And Team Speed Boost are going to have to go back to the drawing board. The Echo, creative play. Maybe if you'd gotten the Echo onto the Winston, the Tracer, the McCree, something that can give you a little bit more stopping power, we would have seen a different story.
I mean, they're going to have to get on the point in a hurry. I mean, you're seeing the touch there from Chaotic on the Diva. Will they be able to get in on time? You've got the rally available. Will Dirtmaster be able to get back onto the point and pop it?
Oh, big flashbang coming through from LV, finding the kills up top. The Deadeye, however, only going to be able to speckle in damage, not going to be able to find any kills. Pick-a-New on the Tracer, able to use that recall to keep themselves safe as the mine comes out for Acid Trip. A lot of zone, not really available to Team Speed Boost right now as they're pushing through. Pick-a-New just kind of picking them apart from the backline there.
You! because Pikachu absolutely was getting the value on the Tracer there. And I mean, I'm telling you, the DPS duo of Acid Trip, once they found their footing on the second point of Rialto, this is a different match now. It feels like they found their stride. LV and CF Man were getting absolutely hard countered by both the picks that they were bringing out. LV could not decide who they wanted to stay on. They swapped like 4 times on point B. And, you know, the ultimate charge obviously is going out the window every time you swap. So, man, I mean, the double bubble was kind of working. And, you know, we saw Chaotic swap over to the D.Va, try to mitigate some of that damage. But then you're losing the viability of the Winston there, especially going in against Karaki on the McCree. So, I mean, the pick and counter picks that we just saw coming out of Acid Trip absolutely won them that defensive round, and now they have a win condition set for them going into their attack phase. And man, CF Man was putting in some really good work on the far. I don't know why they swapped off of that.
I'm a little confused as well. I would have liked to have seen them keep the similar composition going into this go round. I'm not so sure about running the Zarya D.Va. Sorry, the Reinhardt D.Va. Definitely can work, but it's something that you really have to force to work.
Yeah, I mean, this is like old, like, you know, season 12, season 13 Overwatch here. And I mean, it could work. I like the fact that you've got Olibom on this D.Va, because you can deal with the Pharah in the sky and CF Man. You can get that defense matrix in the face and really push Pharah back from where the sightline she wants to use.
And you can see not even using pressure to do so, but just allowing Picanu to kind of dance around in the back line is giving enough of a distraction to CF Man to get the payload around these first 2 corners, and they get the early D-suit onto Chaotic, as well as the kill onto Gremory. That's going to take 2 members of Team Speed Boost down. They've got no tanks left. It's going to be a big deal for the DPS, but they've got it. Karaki able to find a very big pick and taking Chaotic completely out of the fight. Acid Trip going to be pushing this payload all the way through the first point fairly well. They've split up Team Speed Boost, trying to come down for the stall and barely makes it. 0.52 meters. CF Man just there in time, and the rest of the team gonna have to get something done. Barrage very close. We have to be dangerous. We have to be very careful about that surprise. Very curious at how at all CF Man was able to get out of that without blowing themselves to pieces.
The defense matrix was not there, and I mean, they just wiggled the mouse. You could see it. They wiggled the mouse. They didn't take any collateral damage from that barrage. Huge hero play there from CF Man to stall the progress. 2.5 minutes to get another half a meter to get point B. But now they've got ultimates online. They've got the workings of a hold here. How do they rotate their ultimates here? I think that you keep up the Deadeye, get LV into a position where he can absolutely assassinate people here. You've got the nano boost available from Void as well. Throw it onto Gremory and let him go ham.
Oh, this is not great for Picanu. Kind of stuck into this backline as Karake is going to use that Deadeye to de-suit Chaotic once again. And you know what? Why delete the D.Va when you can just make sure that they can't get big plays like Olibom? Finding a double with the self-destruct and putting Acid Trip into a very good position to take this point.
Yeah, great play from Olibom there. The self-destruct, absolutely huge. Ace is just swinging the hammer with impunity. He's feeling no pain right now. He's got Shatter online. LV, I mean, you know, positioning there. That was the big question mark there for LV, and, you know, got caught out by that self-destruct. You have the Deadeye online, though, so let's see what he can get out of this.
Going for the boop off the high ground, able to find a couple of members. Acid Trip, however, still trying to figure out the perfect way to approach this now as the Reinhardt v. Reinhardt has been forced. This is exactly what Ace wanted. Shatter available still. Looking for the perfect charge. Able to find the Reinhardt. One swing later gets the kill. Is frozen and gets taken down themselves. Chaotic able to even things up just enough. And once again, tipping the scales back and forth, back and forth. Acid Trip still have members on the payload. Team Speed Boost. Waiting for the Reinhardt to join them back from spawn. Should get here just in time. Ace not going to come back to be able to utilize the kills in the space that were made. You see Olibom having to dump themselves into the river in order to spawn back with the mech.
Yeah, I mean, I also denying the ult surge as well. So, good recognition there from Olabom. Just take a swim, get your mech back. You're 10% off of the self-destruct. Looking for, Shatter Bomb. Absolutely is available here in this next engagement. But you have Nano, you have, the possibility of an Electric Cowboy with the Deadeye as well.
The Electric Cowboy, in my opinion, a bit of an underrated ultimate. There's the defense matrix all the ready. Rocket, on the other hand, however, is going to have a Shatter to help with the Deadeye. The Deadeye going to be the distraction for the Shatter. However, Nano goes on to Gremory. Gremory able to get the Shatter off themselves. Able to find 3, 4, and Team Speed Boost answering back big. Acid Trip no longer feeling comfortable on the point.
No, they are not. There is the sweetheart dance from Gremory. You love to see it. That was a massive play coming out of Spyro there, getting that Nano off onto, from Void onto Gremory. Denying the Shatter follow-up, getting their own Shatter out there, and now moving forward. You're under 2 minutes, so, we'll probably get another Shatter available for Gremory here as they are defending up on this high ground. Where do you pull the trigger, though? Where do you pull the speed and the rotation from? You've got to be able to figure out this May right now because CF Man has the Blizzard available.
Yeah, with the D.Va down, there's no reason not to throw the Blizzard into the mix, and that's exactly what Speed Boost is going to do. Acid Trap able to bait that out a little bit, and I'd like to see a little bit of interesting play come through. They have the May. I think you can... The payload's in a position on Rialto where the D.Va bomb can go up and over. It can go around the main. It can come over the short wall where we saw the Echo play earlier. There's a lot of interesting ways to use what Acid Trip has to take down what Team Speed Boost is bringing to the table.
Yep, and I mean, it just depends on, where does Olibom go with this? Nice Deadeye getting down the main source of healing for Acid Trip, but the payload is pushing forward. They've got about, 10 meters to go?
10 meters and 44 seconds left. This could be our second to last fight. And I want to point out how quickly Acid Trip recognized that they'd lost that and got out.
Yeah, great recognition from them. They've got 5 ultimates almost online, almost a full 6-pack here. Chaotic is going to have to be the initiator here with the self-destruct. I think that you hold it to the last minute. Hopefully CF Man can cordon somebody off from it.
Oh, there it is. No! The shield break just in time isn't going to save them. Acid Trip, they won't have any chance to really touch here. They've got the sound barrier from Typical, but the Deadeye going to be blocked out. Going to be taken down now as well. Charge comes through and finds Typical. The hitbox clip is there for Team Speed Boost as D.Va gets desuited in a wall to make sure Reinhardt can't touch the payload. Just going to body block him here by the archway. They're going to be able to get their overtime started, but a sound barrier coming through from Speed Boost is pretty much the final nail in the proverbial coffin.
Yeah, I mean, this is great work coming out from Team Speed Boost. The Blizzard to cap the point and stop the aggression coming in. Olibom on point just to stall. Let's see if he can get anything done here. I don't think he will.
Yeah, Handman can be a great stall technique. If you have a lot of room around the payload, you can get a couple of spin to wins, pop off, come back, spin to win, pop off, come back, spin to win. But the corner of death's real difficult, real tight. A lot of space for him to play around.
Yeah, and I mean, just Gremory right here, just going absolutely ham. Here's the counter shatter. Good night. Good night. See ya. That was great work from Gremory there. That was a great use of the Nano also from Spyro. So, man, that is a 2-0 lead for Team Speed Boost here. And I thought, the Acid Trip had a chance there to really deal with what was coming in from Team Speed Boost on the defense. But, man, it was just once they got their feet planted, they were just fine and they stabilized. And that self-destruct that came out on the defense for Team Speed Boost was just absolutely crucial in denying it. So yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day with my camera as well. The Matrix really does want me. And we're gonna go take a quick break here and figure out what's wrong with my camera. And we will be back with you for the third map after these few messages.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with what could be our third and final map of the series. Acid Trip looking to reach into their bag of tricks and find something that can deal with Team Speed Boost. Caster 2, are you there? There he is.
But I'm doing sleep.
Looks like Billy's having a little bit of technical difficulty with his mic there. We're not exactly sure what's gonna happen.
Going on either.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Billy.
I didn't do anything. My computer hates me today. I don't know what to do here. No, but seriously, Eichenwald will be fun. Obviously, we'll see what kind of aerial threat the Team Speed Boost is going to bring out here today, because I'm just dying here. My computer hates me. My computer hates me, and I'm not living for it. I'm not living for this.
I'm ready for the compositions that we're gonna see though, because Team Speed Boost has kind of been playing around for a little bit. We saw a couple of members being really fluid what heroes they want to pick up, and they have not been afraid to make those switches quickly. Half ult up, doesn't matter, make the switch. It's more important that we have the right hero in the right situation than it is that we have a Deadeye that we might not be able to use.
Right, and I mean that is the lightning quick realization coming out from Team Speed Boost for what they're being thrown against them. They analyzed and find the win condition that works best for them, and that's what we've seen so far throughout both the maps so far. So will Team Speed Boost be able to continue their winning ways here, or will Acid Trip get a foothold into the series, because they showed signs of life in Rialto? I mean, and they should have won Rialto, if we're all being completely honest with each other here. That self-destruct that came out from Chaotic was on a hope and a prayer, and the last second shield crack of a Cyrex, absolutely the nail in the coffin for them. They had no way to get back after that.
And we're talking fractions of a second between that Diva Bomb taking 2 and damaging 1, and that Diva Bomb doing absolutely nothing but leaving an opening for Speed Boost, or for Acid Trip.
Yeah, I mean, Acid Trip is just going to have to, go back to the planning board here and find out what's going to work for them. Because I mean, looking at Speed Boost, they're going to be on the defense first here, and I mean, they've been running this Reinhardt almost exclusively all day, and Chaotic really showed the value of this Diva. CF Man, if they have another good main map here, getting those walls up and cordoning people off, this could be a very quick hold for Team Speed Boost.
It could be. That's what they're looking for. They want to kind of shut this door immediately. And oh wow, a lot of damage already done. 324 health left for Ace as Acid Trip trying to make a little bit of progress. Both teams, however, sticking to the main McCree damage lines. Pick it over the payload into the back, trying to find the opening shot onto LV, but LV and CF Man both able to find 2. So Speed Boost gonna feel comfortable. Acid Trip at this point just trying to get a little bit of consolation kills and ult shards for their second attack.
Chaotic save some for the rest of the team. Getting the work done there with the mech and the punch and everything else going into that. Pikanu did get a lot of work done on this May. 53% to Blizzard. That's going to be their initiator trying to get into this point. But Drago right now almost has Shatter online already. We'll see what kind of work he can get done here. That's a big anti coming in from Void. And they go ahead and capitalize on it. Pikanu out of the fight.
Acid Trip really have been struggling right now to get fluidity into their play. Small pieces here and there are really connecting, but putting the whole picture into place and getting from point A to point Z has been a bit of a struggle. Right now coming in with the Shatter, is able to find the Mei with the Shatter, but that's just about it. Obum, 79% to the grab for Acid Trip right now. 2 members down for Team Speed Boost. Chaotic looking for anything they can. Getting a little bit of a boot there onto Pikanu. And now Acid Trip going to have good purchase onto the point. Pikanu's just like, you know what? Come on, stay in here with me. I've got a Zarya bubble. You don't. Did you want to go back to spawn? Fine, we'll let you go.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, this is exactly what Acid Trip needed to do. They got, the sectioning off of Drago, And once Drago was down, that's when the capture really started happening, and Pikanu getting the walls in there, using the wall to cordon off the members of Team Speed Boost. It was all a very well executed push there from Acid Trip, and they've got 4 minutes to get through the streets phase here, but ultimates online from both sides. You've got self-destruct ready from Chaotic. We're looking to see if Chaotic can also eat this grav.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big story here. Is can Oblum get the Graviton onto the high ground? Maybe get them all grouped up, or collapse on it when they go down. But no, Chaotic gets it. He gets the grab, and Kuraka able to sneak in one with the Deadeye and Elvi in a bit of a response. But Acid Trip not able to put the attack together in the fashion that they wanted. That's gonna leave Elvi with a bit of a playground from the high ground, finding 2, and Speed Boost continuing to hold strong here on the defense.
Yeah, that's great work. I mean, Olabom does get a consolation pick, though, into LV, and they're going to have to kite back here a little bit and, you know, allow the progress to start coming through, because they just don't have the numbers to keep up the pressure here around this first corner. Typical does have speed boost. You might be able to go in on tempo here, drop that speed boost, and see what you can get out of it.
Yeah, I'd like to see the engagement right as the payload hits here. There you go, right underneath the choke. And that's going to call for Chaotic and the rest of the team to press W. Self-destruct still online for Chaotic. Been a big player in taking ultimates off the table, but hasn't really been able to put that self-destruct on the table.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Grey Marine right now, just absolutely laying waste with the hammer. They did exactly what they needed to do there. They got all the healing, all the aggression going into Acid Trip, and you've already taken 1.5 minutes off the time bank that they started with going into the streets phase. They didn't get much value out of the sound barrier for Acid Trip either, so, I mean, look at the ultimate bank for a speed boost. They've got 5 going into this next fight, and, I mean, they've got nothing really to defend. Chaotic, hungry for another Graviton Surge? We'll see.
All of them now positioning themselves onto the high ground with the rest of the team, and you can see Chaotic is continuously checking up to the high ground, making sure that they're not trying to dump any sneaky Gravitons in there. All of them definitely looking out for the D.Va, saying, can we demech them real quick? I'd like to get this grab out. But Chaotic self-destruct still what I'm looking for from Team Speed Boost. And that's a trip. They're have a bit stuck here. They're gonna get booped down. The grab gonna come out, and it's gonna get eaten as well. Another one down for Chaotic. Is that 3, 4 on the day?
That's 4. That is 4 on the day, Steidel. And the other thing is that the payload this entire time has been moving backwards. So, I mean, and that's great work from Karaki. They're denying the sound barrier, my friend, and everybody jumping off for Team Speed Boost. They're gonna allow this payload to start moving forward. But during that entire interlude, Steidel, the payload was inching its way backwards. So they're going to have at least one more fight here for Team Speed Boost. You have 0 ultimates online, though, and you're running into a blizzard. Do we want a Frosty here, Chaotic? I mean, you've been hungry hippo all day on this D.Va. Can you get it out?
Oh, the hammer coming down from Ace is going to change the story. Indeed, Team Speed Boost now on their heels as 2 members fall. Acid Trap keeping a bit of a stabilization, and almost. Oh no! Where are you going, Ace? There's nothing down there.
Oh, that was unfortunate in the extreme. Yeah, that was a great boot from Typical. They do pick up point B, but I mean, they had a little over 4 minutes going into the streets phase. They ended up getting that with 30 seconds left. So an additional 2 minutes going on to the clock here for Acid Trip. They've got 3 ultimates online. You know, Void has the coalescence to keep the team up. You've got a Blizzard still, and Chaotic still looking for dessert.
Pikanu gonna go ahead and spin that as well with the Deadeye, and Acid Trip are gonna be able to pick up 2 kills from it. Speed Boost on the defense having to get a bit aggressive to support their Reinhardt as Grimmery charging out of the situation. Chaotic hunting down a high charge Zarya here on the outskirts of the rubble. Needs to be able to land the shots. A high charge beam is going to be able to take away the mech, but that's just about it. Acid Trip back to spawn. And Speed Boosts are starting to stabilize once again, and their ult bank slowly coming back online.
I don't know if I really like that self-destruct there just to get the mech back. I mean, you had, you know, time really to just go back and either jump off. You could have jumped off there after you killed the Zarya, but I mean, that last little bit of damage coming in from the miniguns really, you know, made them decide that they had to press Q there. Man, there is a big ultimate right there. That's a great wall coming out of CF Man.
Yeah, CF Man cutting off damage from Acid Trip, stopping them completely. This time, Chaotic not able to eat the Graviton, but a Maywall going to be mitigating a lot of the damage as well as denying them from getting out. Sound Barrier to save the team from Dirtmaster, but the kills are still going to come through. Acid Trip pressing W. They're going to be meeting a few members of Team Speed Boost that are pretty staggered out now as they push to high 5 spawn. Ace wants to be as greedy as possible right now. He's like, oh, my shield's in, my shield's touching.
Oh. Last moment. Coalescence coming in. They might be able to turn this on their heads. Should they be able to get in there? Deadeye coming out from Karaki. No dice there, but it does get the mech. That's going to be the last amount of your stall. Do you get it into overtime?
With shots like these, Acid Trip are going to be able to get it through. Karaki pretty much carrying the end of that fight by standing off of the payload, knowing that Speed Boost had to contest and just got free damage that whole time.
Boy, I mean, I think the self-destruct that we saw come out of Chaotic just to get the mech back, they might have wanted to have that back in their back pocket. I think that would have stalled out and maybe won the fight and denied the full 3 points there from Acid Trip. But otherwise, you know, Acid Trip finally got it together there, especially in point 3. Karaki, like you said, carrying the 3rd point there. He just knew he just had to, you know, spray damage in there and drop a Deadeye and, you know, took the mech of Chaotic out. So for Team Speed Boost, is it more of the same? Do we see the D.Va come out again? Do we see, any kind of changes coming out from them? Pikanu bringing out the Echo now. So we're going to have Poke from range. Obviously, we're also going to have the focusing beam being brought to bear on Team Speed Boost here for the defense. Obviously, you get great opportunities for the duplicate. You've got Reinhardt. You've also got the D.Va. I think once Chaotic sees Acid Trip's Echo out here, they may decide to swap off to a different tank because self-destruct. I mean, you can get 2 self-destruct duplicates from one press of the Q button. We'll see. We'll see how this is going to play itself out here as Speed Boost is on series point.
And with Pikanu on this Echo, this is a great point to just speckle in those sticky mines. You know, a lot of easy chokes to preemptively toss them in and get yourself a lot of early ult charge.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what kind of path Chaotic is going to take here. I mean, they're going into a double shield with the Rissa and the Sigma. I mean, once the shields gets burned down, that's going to be the real initiator for them.
Looking to the skies to try and deal a little bit of extra damage to the Mercy and keep the pressure on. LV wanted to go for the flank, but I think they got caught out by Karaki there in the very, very end. And Grimmery just not able to press W the way that the Reinhardt wants to. Has to keep that shield up against the Orisa and the Sigma. 2 shields that each have a way of dishing out damage while keeping that shield presence alive. But who needs shields when you've got Maze? CF Man just going absolutely nutty for Team Speed Boost right now.
Okay, Chaotic and CF. We see you getting nice and aggressive. 5.5 minutes to get through the streets phase here. They did it about 1.5 minutes faster than what Acid Trip did. So will the stall be the same here? Do they do different pathing? I like it already. They're going through the castle on the backside and just really taking the fight to Acid Trip rather than, you know, allowing just the pressure to come into them.
And going onto the high ground so early for Team Speed Boost is a really, really important play here on Eichenwald. Controlling the high ground on this second point is more important than sticking with the payload. If you win this fight and then go to the payload, you'll be able to get it across through that first archway where we saw Team Speed Boost take a lot of Acid Trip's time off the clock.
Well, the big thing I want to mention right now is that Pikanu pressed Q and then went flying down into the depths of the gorge below Eichenwald. There's the section off from CF Man. They're just getting so much value here. Great usage of the work here. That's a great sound barrier coming out from Dirtmaster as well. They're pushing into Acid Trip in their spawn area. Great work from them. This is absolutely filthy work coming out of Team Speed Boost right now. Shatter Online for Granbury into this next fight.
Yeah, Speed Boost definitely showing off their comfortability here on Eichenwald by taking that first fight. And mind you, they took the majority of that high ground fight as a 5-man team and were able to make it last long enough to get the payload to the fight so that they could fight that as a 6-man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they invest, Acid Trip invests this supercharger here. So Team Speed Boost, they just, kite away from it and let it run its course. And they will be able to come into this next fight, only having to face a Bob. Also, a amplification matrix for Spiral online, but Shatter still online for Gremory. I want to see how they get around this. You also have the self-destruct available as well.
Oh, and there it is! A beautiful combination of the Amplification Matrix and the Sigma Shield to bait out Gremory's Shatter so it finds absolutely nothing. Downside is Spyro's Amp Matrix, just about as useless as the Shatter was. Immortality Field, however, going to be absolutely crucial as they get tucked back into this nook and cranny. Chaotic and LV both finding kills, and the D.Va still surviving low on health, but Defense Matrix keeping them up just long enough to keep the payload in motion. Although Ace is fighting back, the rest of Acid Trip need to step in as LV off the point on the McCree is posing a bit of a threat. They're going to go ahead and deal with it.
Yeah, and look at the stagger here. Oh, poor Chaotic. Poor Chaotic.
No,
yeah, just shooting as they need to. This is a great stagger from Acid Trip, and there's finally the kill there. But that was a good 15 seconds that they kept Chaotic alive. 4.8 meters, though. That's how close they got to taking this map with a ton of time. CF Man is going to have Blizzard online. That's going to be the initiator into this next fight for Team Speed Boost. They do not have Sound Barrier to counteract the Olibomb Gravitic Flux.
And you can see there a bit of May tech for those of you that didn't know or don't play May very often. The Ice Block is able to take you out of the Gravitic Flux completely. CFN is showing you that tech, but a good job by Team Speed Boost to recognize we're probably going to lose 1 or 2 in this Flux. Everybody go ahead and press S. We've got a lot of time in the time bank, but that doesn't mean we need to waste it.
Interesting use of the supercharger here. I mean, they're just going to kite away from the damage, and I mean, it's a waste of the Q button there for Acid Trip. And now all you have online is the duplicate from Pikanu. We'll see where they go with it. I think that they bring out the Reinhardt here.
Yeah, they bring out the Reinhardt and they've already got the Shatter online. Looking to lay that down, but they've been Maywalled off from the rest of their team, and the Deadeye from Speed Boost isn't going to be landing. Chaotic able to find the kill, switching off to the Zarya a little while ago, and already dishing out massive amounts of damage on the high charge particle beam. CF Man now going in, has the Blizzard at the ready, but no wall, no longer. Typical on the Valkyrie for Acid Trip, keeping the rest of the team alive, and you're going to see the Fortify committed now from the Orisa as Ace tries to change the tide of the Blizzard. Able to find 1-2 kills now for Team Speed Boost. Acid Trip are going to rely heavily on that res on Old Bloom, but Typical going to get taken down in the process by LV on the McCree, who has now snuck to the left of the payload. There goes the Gravitic Flux, grabbing the entirety of the team, and they will lose their Reinhardt. Team Speed Boost now into dire straits. 2 minutes left as Acid Trip continuing to hold strong for the time being. Chaotic finding a DPS off to the right and backing away from the point, commits the Graviton, has the high charge, has the left click, has the right click, and able to find the Reinhardt as well. Mercy into their sights, and it's going to be Typical that's going to be falling next. Spyro as well, and the Moira, the support line for Acid Trip, having a very difficult time getting onto the point and healing up their tanks and keeping it alive as they whittle time and seconds off of the clock as best they can. The Deadeye gonna be keeping it alive, but Hammond comes in at just the right time. Doomfist now for Karake, getting taken down by a lot of burst damage and a flashbang to the face.
And yeah, they did it with time too. They did it with over a minute as well. I don't think that Acid Trip's gonna get a chance to go at this. Nope, they are not. So, best they can hope for is a draw. They're going to have 1:28 to get 33% of the first point of Eichenwald. And considering their first attack, they did it, I think, in less than that. So maybe it's time for Cheese to come out from Acid Trip, try and pull this to a draw. But Team Speed Boost really, I mean, they showed such incredible patience there, Steidel. They kited away from a amplification matrix. They kited away from a Cyrex's supercharger. They were just very patient in their aggression onto point 3 there. And I mean, this sets them up for, the series win, a clean 3-0 sweep over Acid Trip, who has shown signs of life back and forth throughout this entire map. So, I just wish they would get it all the way together, all the pieces together, because Karaki has been carrying very much today.
That indeed they have. And I also want to talk briefly about Ace on this main tank role for Acid Trip. Pretty much the reason that they were able to take as much time off of the clock as they did from Team Speed Boost. And now that they have Olabomb onto this Zarya, this Rein Zarya composition off of the bat, I think they have enough to make the sustain.
I mean, I'm liking Chaotic bringing out the D.Va again, though. I mean, you're going to deny the right clicks coming in from Olabomb. You're going to deny the fire strikes coming out from Ace Cyrex and Pikanu as well. So, there's the wall right there. Eve Elvie getting caught around the side there. Nice flashbang. Does he get Spyro? I don't think so.
No, it doesn't get Spyro, but they are able to eliminate Drago out of the fight. And for Team Speed Boost, you have to make the decision quickly. Is this the fight we take, or do we back out?
Yeah, they did the smart thing and backed out. Karaki, 64% to Deadeye. Nothing much online for Team Speed Boost. I mean, Coalescence, you can go in on tempo with that. You can start putting the damage down. But Spyro will have the Immortality Barrier ready to go. That's got to be your first focus down.
Oh, and Karaka now up to 80% of the Deadeye, getting dangerously close to their ultimate. The Shatter going to be online soon as well. With the Immortality Field from Spyro and the Amplification Matrix to pair with it, the Fan the Hammer is going to be a deadly Fire Strike as well. Ace Rex going to find that kill on their opposing Reinhardt. And Chaotic with a bit of a tricky decision, going up and over this roof and staying here for the touch. But they're not going to have a lot of health, and they're going to be up against a lot of burst damage when they reinitiate.
Absolutely. There's the touch right there coming from Chaotic. They triggered the overtime there. Oh, man, what a burn down from Olablom. Oh, my word. And there's the Maywall to section it off. We get the draw there. We'll go to a map 4.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be having a whole stream of 3 Overwatch for you. Acid Trip are going to be keeping themselves alive here at the very end.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought that they had the tools there to really get the job done, but they just had so much burst damage, and that Amp Matrix came out. When they got that done. So, I mean, we worked it well, and we'll see what they bring back here as we go into our next map 4. We'll see what it is, though.
Yeah, I think we just got the word. It's going to be Hanamura. So, 2CP, not really a map type that we've been able to get our teeth into just yet. And not a map type we're going to have around for too much longer.
Yay. Yay.
No tears shed for 2CP.
Especially not Hanamura or Anubis, for that matter. I dislike 2CP with all my heart, just like I dislike Mei. But I mean, we saw some really great Mei play coming from both squads there. The walls were good. The blizzards were tasty as well. And yeah, I mean, we're still on 2-0. Team Speed Boost is still on series point here. And I mean, Hanamura will be up next. We'll see who gets what out of this next map. Hopefully it will be something delicious from both sides. Maybe Acid Trip can bring themselves back into the series. They did get the draw there. So, that's got to be a little bit of wind into their sails.
Well, they're starting to figure out what works. And here at the beginning of the season, you don't really have a lot of information on your opponents. I'm sure that these teams have scrimmed each other once or twice in the preseason. It's also very possible that they've never once played against each other. So you don't really know what on game day these teams are bringing to the table. 3 games in isn't where you want to be figuring that out. But you want to figure that out sooner rather than later and have it done just in case. There we go. Just in case they come back into the equation. But Acid Trip, now that they've finally kind of started to put those building blocks down, you can kind of escalate your play from there. Now we know how to kind of mitigate their DPS duo. Gregory's not being able to just walk into our team and hold the hammer down. He's being melted. He's being taken down first in a lot of the fights that we saw in Eichenwald. So Starting to see a little bit of improvement from Acid Trip, and I'm liking it a lot.
Oh, it's also a BAP diff. I mean, there is also a massive Baptiste difference going there for Acid Trip, being able to keep the team up through the mid fight. That immortality barrier, I don't know how many times saved Acid Trip from any kind of damage coming in. You know, just keeping them up just enough so that they could do what they needed to do and you know, push back against what Team Speed was doing. And we saw it there on the last point of Eichenwald in the overtime. We saw them, you know, be able to throw up the Ant Matrix, throw up the Immortality Barrier, and there was nothing that Speed Boost could do to counter it. So we'll see what Acid Trip brings out here against Spyro onto this Baptiste. I like it. Typical bringing out the Mercy. So you're going to have the 7th man available with the Res, maybe 8 men with the Bob as well. Pikachu sticking with this May, and that's why I hate Mays right there. They wall you off from trying to get to the point.
Which can be a little bit annoying sometimes. All the time, maybe.
Maze.
But on this first point, I'm excited to see the attack. We're not gonna get the Symmetra, but I do want the Hanzo.
I like the fact that Elvy's bringing out the Reaper as well. That's gonna burn down Olabom and Ace Cyrex. If the sustain is there, man, this could be a very rapid point here if Elvy gets the kind of damage that, you know, Reapers are known for. CFM bringing out the Doomfist again. I'm now officially excited.
Gremlin wasting no time passing through this choke, just checking their corner to make sure that they're not going to get caught off at the very beginning. No doubt waiting for Dirtmaster to get the speed boost online. There we go. We've got the call. Elvy now pushing into the shield, and wow, Ace just immediately, like as if somebody pressed Control Alt Delete on the Reinhardt for Acid Trip. Speed Boost are staying true to their name and taking this point quickly. They've mitigated Acid Trip to a couple of members just off the point, and the Reaper going to be able to pretty quickly deal with any stragglers that come back.
Yeah, and I mean, Mercy right now is in a ton of trouble here. She's going to go down in the heap as well. That's going to be a very rapid take of point A here for Team Speed Boost. And I mean, 6 minutes to go into point B. You're going to have Shatter online. You're going to have Speed Boost to go in on tempo. You're going to have Coalescence to keep you up through the fight. Nothing right now other than a couple shots away from Bob for Karaki.
Oh, and a big headshot from Karaki is going to help them with this stall, but a punch comes through into the back line, and Doomfist getting a little bit crazy. That's CF man back onto the token hero. Will get taken down at the very end of the fight, but they've already built up a good bit of percentage. They just need a little bit further to push it to a third, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to put it together.
No enemy exit kills coming in from Acid Trip here. Really getting the work in. Oh my God, you know, Dirtmaster thought, I got away from you, sucker. No, says Pikachu, I see you and I delete you and you go bye-bye. So coming into the next fight for Acid Trip here on the defense. They're taking the high ground here, like that very much. You're going to have Blizzard, you're going to have Shadow, you're going to have the Gravitic Flux, everything in the bank right now to really defend against what Team Speed Boost is bringing on to the point.
Oh, and an Ant Matrix from the high ground is not what you want to see when you're pushing on to point B. Team Speed Boost now wishing that they had saved themselves a little bit of extra damage for this fight as Acid Trip continued to whittle down their numbers.
Yeah, but 0 ultimates committed by Team Speed Boost there. So, I mean, you've got 4 ultimates out of Acid Trip right there. You've got the Flux, you've got the Valkyrie, you've got the Ant Matrix, and you've also got the Blizzard out. So now you're going in with a ultimate extravaganza ready to go. You've got the Grav that you could do Space Jam with. You could also throw the Death Blossom into it as well. I mean, you've got everything going for you here. 4 minutes left on the time bank. This is where the real work begins.
Starting things off into the little bitty hallway, which is definitely going to be a good thing for CF here. Gonna wait out this May wall. The Graviton does get spent. They're not able to capitalize on it, however. Kills still coming through for Acid Trip onto this high ground as Speed Boost haven't been able to put it together, and they've used almost everything that they've had. They've only got the Death Blossom left. That's all that they walked away with.
Absolutely destroyed by one single Maywall. It was the Maywall that stopped everything. Oh my word! And once again, it was a Spyro difference. It was the Baptiste there with the immortality barrier that denied all the value of both the Shatter and the Meteor Strike and the Graviton Surge.
Oh no, when a big Gravitic Flux, as you're walking onto the point, you don't have any support ultimates online anymore. They got an Amp Matrix on the high ground. Team Speed Boost now having to deal with a fight that they're just not equipped for. LV has the Death Blossom at the Randy, but watching team members fall into the kill feed, definitely going to be holding on to that, and just has not had an opportunity to press Q.
Boy, that accretion from Ola Bomb right there just destroyed LV, and I hate to see it. But man, if you're Acid Trip, you're just licking your chops here, looking at what Team Speed Boost are bringing in right now. They know that ultimates are just not online. And Olablom has hit 2 massive gravitic fluxes in the second point here. I mean, you've got to watch it. You've got to watch and see what we can bring out here. Blizzard into Death Blossom could be a fight winner here for Acid Trip. Dirtmaster, if you can get this speed boost up or this sound barrier up, you might be able to win this fight.
Trying to use that Maywall to stop Acid Trip from dropping down onto the point, forcing them to drop into the Blizzard. The sound barrier is there, however, so the Death Blossom not going to land the way that they want. But Crockett, they need to be careful because there's another Death Blossom online. Nobody's looking at the Reaper. Able to dish out a lot of damage, but not finishing or closing any doors as Dirtmaster opens up the kill with the first take. Typical. Back to spawn. However, you're reckon nobody taking care of them on the sidelines until finally Seathman on this May begins to put a dent into the kill feed and into the composition. Able to find themselves a bit of safety up against the wall closest to spawn. Acid Trip's respawns aren't coming in quick enough as the kills for Team Speed Boost are coming in at exactly the pace that they need. But another Amp Matrix from Spyro into the back.
Oh, what a shatter coming out of Gremory, though. Will they be able to get the finish off?
The self-destruct definitely going to be a good omen for that, Billy. They're looking to find this point with a little bit of time left over, but the respawns just won't quit. And for Acid Trip, you just need to make sure that you're finding a single pick here and there, because the respawns for Team Speed Boost are going to be drastically longer than yours. However, the stall, just about as best as they can manage right now, going one at a time, on to point, off to point. Here comes the Tracer back to keep the stall alive. The teleport just in time. And now with ultimates, the respawns are beginning to come back. Another Blizzard to start things off, but the Shatter could be huge. It's really what we're waiting for. The damage is going to be there, though. The Death Blossom from LV, pretty much the final nail into the coffin. The respawns, just waiting. You can see Pikanu. They're in spawn, trying to wait for the perfect time to kind of dance on and off. If they can get this to overtime, they want to. The wall going to stop the Reaper from getting onto the point, however. So 25 seconds left in the time bank. Speed Boost not taking it as quickly as we thought they would.
Yeah, and I mean, they had 6 minutes. What a hell of a stall from all Acid Trip. I mean, they took literally 5 minutes, 35 seconds off the time bank. So they've got to feel like they're understanding what Team Speed Boost is trying to do to win these points. I think that they finally may have unlocked the puzzle. I love the Celtic Pride tank line that they brought out. A Cyrex and Olablom on the Reinhardt and the Sigma. Double shield variant that I personally love to see. I think that the accretion and the kinetic grasp, the kit of Sigma, you know, even with the shield placement nerf, I still think that he's so viable and so on meta right now because you do have the CC ability with the accretion. You do have, you know, the ability to gain some of your shielding back with the kinetic grasp. You can also deny ultimates with it as well. And of course, you've got the hyperspheres, which do a ton of damage. So man, it's going to be up to Speed Boost right here to deny the pressure coming in from Acid Trip because they've got to feel like the wind might be turning in their direction.
Definitely, you know, you start that last map where you're able to hold them to a draw, and now you've effectively done 1.5 holds on point B. An interesting start from Speed Boost. They're really going to play aggressively with the Fire Strike, and it's going to pay off. Gremory able to start the game with 20% ult charge.
Yeah, but we're going to see Karaki here just starting to just spill the damage in with the Peacekeeper. I don't know if Chaotix is going to be able to get the value that they want with this D.Va. I mean, you're going to have the damage mitigation of the defense matrix, but what kind of rotation are you going to be able to do with a Rhine and a Diva and an Ana? The Ana is going to be the outlier here for them.
I like the fact that Acid Trip is taking their time to use the information that they're gathering and wait for the right moment to go back in. I believe there was a flank coming in right there from CF Man to try and get from the behind, able to get the May wall up and split Acid Trip completely in half when a big boop comes through, and that's gonna put Grimmery into the grave. Void trying to keep their Diva alive on the point for now, as members from both teams are getting taken out of the fight left and right. LV on the Ash. Gonna be the saving grace right now for Team Speed Boost, as Void getting bullied by the Lucio needs saving by Dirtmaster.
Yeah, but I mean, nice kiting there from Dirtmaster. And make sure that Void doesn't go down. You've got Shatter online. You're going to have a Nano Boost ready to go pretty soon. How do they deal with the Blizzard coming in? Chaotic, you haven't gotten your Frosty yet today. Let's see if you can get it out here.
Quick little trip down to the DQ for Team Speed Boost. Sorry for Acid Trip. Shatter ready for Grimmery, but they don't really need it. The kill is still coming through for Speed Boost. And how do you deal with the Blizzard, Billy? You kill the May.
You kill the May, absolutely.
Yeah. Pretty easy way to do that.
I think they're playing with their food right now, Steidel. 5 ultimates, almost a full 6-pack online for TSB here. Acid Trip not too far behind them. I think that Drago has gotten the better of the Rhine duel here. And we'll see what they can bring out here. LV does have Bob ready and available. These walls coming out from CF have been absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, gotta keep the shield up, and that's exactly what happens. Ace is able to keep it up, and a nano-boosted Fire Strike rings true and finds 2. Acid Trip once again into a diabolical situation as Team Speed Boost comfortably holding on the point. LV not even moving from the high ground to find themselves a couple of spots in the kill feed.
3 ultimates, though. 3 ultimates were spent there to keep control of point A. Now, no progress whatsoever was gotten, but you're both of your support ultimates off the field. So Sound Barrier can take you in on tempo here for Acid Trip. You can hopefully get this Graviton Surge off for Acid Trip, but Chaotic has been hungry all day looking for that. So we'll see what they can get out of this.
Now at this point, Chaotic knows that Deadeye is online, as well as the Graviton, so you can see them checking left and right, high and low, to make sure that that's not able to get pulled off. There goes the defense matrix in case the Graviton gets committed right then and there, but Obum going to be holding on to it. Kiraki able to find one, squeaking through in the back, but the kills still come through for Team Speed Boost.
What a great set of defense right there. And you're still holding on to self-destruct. You're still holding on to Bob. So Bob is absolutely going to be able to save the point there and contest there. You're under 30 seconds now. I mean, we're looking at Graviton Surge. We're looking at self-destruct. We're looking at Bob. This is going to be a crucial 25 seconds or 15 seconds here for Acid Trip. Can they land it?
It's their last chance. And this is all that they've got. Graviton goes out to keep them busy as they move to point. Acid Trip trying to get something done. They have positioning now on their side, but Team Speed Boost still has a lot of ultimates to contend with, and they've just taken Kiraki out of the equation. Self-destruct into the back is going to get taken down by an Immortality Field, but the Bob on point gets himself a Nano Boost and decides to have a little disco party, finding themselves 3 kills as Team Speed Boost are going to close the day.
That was pretty one-sided there in the defensive phase for Team Speed Boost. They do take the 3-0 win in 4 maps. And man, what a fantastic series from Team Speed Boost and all members concerned there. I've got to say, man, Chaotic is probably my player of the day for them, not only being able to run the Diva, but also the Zarya as well. So, I mean, everything seemed to run through them. And I'm once again gone into the Matrix. It's so much fun to be gone. Wow, that's a weird.
I messed up on that one. Hold on.
Okay, but yeah, poof, and here we go. But I mean, Acid Trip. I don't think that they need to hang their head so low because they did keep it competitive. I mean, Rialto, they still should have won. I still stand by that. But I mean, they were just up against a little bit superior of a foe there. I think the tank line is what really won it for Team Speed Boost. Their Draga or Drago just absolutely destroying on the main tank and chaotic, whether it was the Zarya, whether it was the Diva. I mean, 4 eaten grabs today. So yeah, it was pretty dirty.
It's pretty dirty indeed. And like you said, it's the first match of the season. You have yourself a little bit of wiggle room as far as we weren't prepared for that. We could have been better prepared for this different situation, so on and so forth. But you know what? Now you've got a great VOD to go watch. Hindsight's 2020. Figure out where the cracks in the armor are, and get yourself some flex tape, and slap it on there for the rest of the season. That is going to do it for our matches, and I don't believe that we're going to be having an MVP vote in chat for this game either, but I'm going to go ahead and throw mine into the mix. I think that CF Man is going to take it for me. I think that it was a fun show to watch, and I feel like CF Man had a lot of fun putting it on.
Boy, if I could give one to the losing team, I would definitely give it to Karaki. Karaki carried Acid Trip today. It was doing everything they could to really keep their team in the fight. I mean, big honorable mention to Karaki for Acid Trip. But like I said, Chaotic was mine from the get-go. I mean, 4 eaten grabs, lots of value on the Diva and the Zarya. That's my MVP for the day. And there I go again. Bye-bye. And I'm back.
Wow. Before we lose Billy for good, we're going to go ahead and start our closing statements. A huge shout out to both Acid Trip and Team Speed Boost for giving us a great performance today. And a huge shout out to our production team behind us, our producer, Belly, as well as our observer, Zathan. Billy, it's always a pleasure to cast with you. I love it when Caster 1 and Caster 2 can get together. It's always a good time.
Yes,
but with that,
hopefully my camera will work a little bit more.
Next time maybe. If you'd like to contribute to Billy's webcam feed, you can contact me directly on Twitter. It's down there. But with that being said, we're going to leave you guys with these great Overwatch matches. So stay safe, don't be toxic, and have yourselves a wonderful evening.